Chanosa Magicians are some of the most powerful characters in the entire verse. But today, we're going to be going over their exact powers and abilities and what their feats. We're going to be focusing on Stefan Velta, aka Dr. Velta, and then there is James Donovan, aka Kelta, along with Zoe, the half ghost, half magician. Whitney, the witch, she's a half witch, half magician. And then Amanda, the full blown sorceress. Amanda's. And Rhea, Raven Rachel's as well, even though she herself only uses magic and fights rarely, but she still uses it. All right. So we know they use magic, sorcery, mysticism, necromancy, spirituality, spiritual prowess, along with telepathy and telekinesis, intangibility, etc., etc. Even with transmutation, matter manipulation, and reality warping. Let's do Stefan and James. Stefan has fought and won against Natu and Infinita and Eterna with his magic and sorcery. We know how high up in the cosmology Natu's realm is, and we know how high up in the cosmology Infinita and Eterna's realm is. For context, Infinita and Eterna, they destroyed their realm while they were fighting Natu, and Natu destroyed Natu's realm as they were fighting back against Infinita and Eterna due to their disagreement being a power imbalance. And Stefan was able to fight both of them in their respective realms. For context, that's above the Omniverse in Chanosa, and that's above the gate that is above the Omniverse. And the infinite void of nothingness is way above the gate. And Kitty Victoria's realm is above the infinite void of nothingness. Once again, you can watch the cosmology videos to understand just how high up that is, right? So like I always say, magic is tragic. LOL. Hey, Orlando Magic. Hey, Orlando Magic. But yeah, not Orlando though. We know that James has fought and won against Stefan. They have still made it each other a couple times. Like I just said, we went over Stefan's feats, right? He even Kelta, James Donovan, used his sorcery and magic to get past the end of creation to follow down Stefan's spirit in this one storyline and things of that nature. Even using time and space manipulation when James and Stefan was in the multiverse or the metaverse. So we know their feats and accomplishments there. Now, as far as Zoe and Amanda, these two consistently are multiversal and multi-metaversal tier. They have fought against Naxa and Nancy, who had destroyed several metaverses. Whitney used her reality warping and magic to stop their destruction, but Zoe, on the other hand, used her reality warping to undo that destruction on several metaverses. We also know in the Infinite Crisis on Omniverse, or Crisis on Infinite Omniverses, Whitney had destroyed several omniverses, but Amanda had destroyed several omniverses, but Zoe had destroyed 70 omniverses as well, because they were trying to figure out, if we delete it, does it come back? Or does it come back stronger? Does it come back unstable? It's like cause and effect. And we already know how big the omniverse is in Chanosa, right? Like you've seen all the videos and stuff like that. So that is crazy and absurd. But that's not even the half of it. So once again, when 1D woman, right, who was fighting Baratos, and we already know Baratos had destroyed most of the Chanosa cosmology all the way up to the domain of Chinalis, and 1D was fighting him though, right? And that's a good feat, a good high-end feat for 1D woman, aka Dianessa, right? Fearless, courageous, brave, stuff like that. So you couldn't pay me to fight Baratos, bro. I'm locking the key, all right? You feel me? I'm going to Florida, F that. So basically, as she was fighting, right, they had destroyed the cosmology all the way up to the end of creation and beyond. Whitney had like manipulated the end of creation with her reality warping and magic because she thought that was going to stop Bratos or at least slow him down. But when it didn't, it was shocking. That's still a good feat and accomplishment. That shows you how high up she can get. Zoe, on the other hand, as soon as Whitney had did that and realized it didn't work, Zoe undid all that reality warping that was from the metaverses through the omniverse all the way up to the end of creation itself. That is absurd, ludicrous, and insane. So we know how high up they can get when they are going, full throttle, right? Zoe, Whitney, and Amanda are known for taking and defeating threats that are massively above them in the power level range. They defeated Trinalis. Yes, this is the same Trinalis who is the judge, jury, and executioner across all planes of existence, reality, and creation. His very throne sits at the end of uncreation itself. With one simple thought, he turned off the omniverse due to Omversa not doing her job correctly. He even casually held 3 metaverses in the palm of his hand and crushed them, like legit. So Zoe, Whitney, and Amanda going all out against a being like that and defeating him, that shows you how crazy that they can get, all right, with their magic, sorcery, mysticism, necromancy. They can call upon other beings from other realms and dimensions, astral projection, levitation, little tricks like pulling a bunny out of a hat. I mean, you name it. Well, that's Zoe's thing since she's more the magician ghost, the hunting and stuff. But even Prisha herself was able to fight against Mon. Now, Mon, being from Miami and stuff, she has her own backstory, but their fight was felt on a multiversal level, infinite universes. Once again, more insane scaling. So you got these magicians and sorcerers who don't really play around. Now, once again, we love Prisha, and we're going to get into her a little bit more. But Malia Kozlov, right? Even she uses magic with prep time, with enough prep time. When she fought against Mr. Park, who's a demon, right? He can transform into a human demon. He has demonic ties, hell, the Brimfire, Hellstone, and stuff like that. Or when Pastor Priest, the pastor who was at her mother's funeral when she was 10 and her father's funeral when she was 20, he had gotten demonically possessed performing an exorcism. So with prep time, she was able to find out about demonology and mysticism, spirituality, would even pray to different gods and deities and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, even she's not a stranger to threats that are supernatural and paranormal. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, even without prep time in a random encounter, her telepathy is OP. It's busted, overpowered. She can fight demons with that thing. You know what I mean? Like it's absurd what these characters can do. Also, Malia is a detective. She's called Moscow's best detective for a reason, right? Because she has a lot of serial killers in her rogues gallery. Ethan Elliott, the surgeon, Mr. Park, the demon, Victoria Zaza, the schizophrenic killer, crazy lady, right? And things of that nature as well. A lot of serial killers in her rogues gallery. But I just thought I would point that out. As far as Jay and Prisha, well, hey, they're back at it. They were doing simple things like washing the dishes, ironing the clothes, sweeping the house. Hayley would even help them paint the walls while playing music. Songs like Drake songs, The Weeknd songs, that, you know what I mean? Like she likes that 2014, 2015, and 2016 type of music because, she was a teenager in that area. So she likes that as well. Victoria slowly bobs her head back and forth, slowly, of course. She likes the rhythm, the beat, and the tempo of the songs, the pace. And Alia, well, she's just dancing with Hayley and stuff like that. And even Jay busts out a little dance move. We see, Hayley playing some video games on the couch. She's pressing the buttons. She's playing like Mario or Sonic, and she's sticking her tongue out as you can hear the button go pew, pew, pew. Even Wonder Woman was like, mind if I play? And Hayley's like, sure, knock yourself out. Not literally, though. Oh, here's the controller, and then they start playing the game together. You know what I mean? As Prisha playfully stands there, like the mom figure she is, with her arms folded, and she playfully rolls her eyes. And then Hayley throws a pillow at Prisha's head, and she's like, "Hayley," and Hayley's like, "Yeah." And then Prisha replies with, "What the hell?" And they both start laughing playfully, of course, as Prisha goes back to hugging Jay and kissing him on the lips and stuff like that, things of that nature. So another playful, fun moment for the JR group and its household in Yorkstown, Yorksville, which population is over 3.5 million, by the way. They have a lot of music and languages and cultures and foods, even transportation like buses, planes, cars, you name it. And you know what I mean? That little bakery. So yeah, like I said, they don't just fight villains and fight crimes, whether it be a planet threat, a solar system threat, or universal and multiversal threat at times. We know how dangerous Prisha can get with her magic and sorcery. We talked about Zoe and Whitney. Well, what about Prisha? You know what I mean? But they will. Okay, I'm gonna say it right now. I'm not even gonna edit this out. Mistakes happen. It is what it is. I'm gonna do a feats and accomplishments video for Jay and Hayley, etc. That will be coming up soon in the future. But I just thought this would be a mixed bag video. You guys liked the last one, so why not this one? So, like I said, we know how Rhea fought Trensu, right? Trensu and Rhea, they were destroying the domain of Trinalis and the Dream Realm simultaneously in their fight, along with the void veil of nothingness, the veil of nothingness, not the infinite void of nothingness. Another insane feat with Rhea, her half cosmic abilities and half angelic abilities. You know what I mean? You saw her feats and origins videos before, especially the ones with the accomplishments, but Rhea is just insanely OP now than she was before. They're turning up for a check, baby Beck. Okay, I'm sorry. No. So once again, Jay and Prisha, Hayley, Victoria, and Alia sitting there eating ice cream. Masonry, Jay's friend, occasionally pops in and they have those chats where they bring up the past and they chuckle and stuff before Nasrin goes back to his wife, his baby girl, Carol. You know what I mean? But yeah, y'all, this was fun, but I gotta run. Hey, love these characters and I'm out. Much love.